So I am back again today to make beef stroganoff noodle soup. So if any of you have ever had beef stroganoff before, it's made with egg noodles and sour cream and beef and mushrooms. This is a more thinner version. They call it soup. It's not really like a soup. It's just a runnier version of beef stroganoff. So what I have going on, I've turned my Instant Pot to saute, and I added a couple squirts from my misto of extra virgin olive oil, and I added a little over a pound of lean ground beef. Today I'm using 93%, and I'm just frying it up, and this is about done. So when your meat is done, cooked through, you're going to add one small to medium onion. And 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. So I'm using the same cookbook that I've used several days in a row. It's the Skinny Taste cookbook. I like it. It gives healthy recipes. This one I am modifying. As you guys know, I modify a lot of recipes. So now that I have the beef done, I have 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, and I have 1 onion in here. Oh, making a mess already. So we're just gonna saute this until the onions are soft, so probably like 4 minutes. This Instant Pot recipe can be done in a pot. If you don't have an Instant Pot, that's okay. You could make it just the same way in a Dutch oven or a pot on the stove, just by frying up the meat and then adding the onion. And when it comes to the part of bringing it to pressure, you can cover your lid. So if you don't have an Instant Pot, you can still do this recipe. And what I'll do is I will take a picture of the recipe from the cookbook and put it in the comments. But I'm just letting you know as we're cooking through it that there are some modifications that I'm doing, and I'll let you know as I go. So this is frying up really nice if you wanted to take a look at it. It already smells so good in here with beef and onion and tomato paste. It's such a good smell. Like I said, beef stroganoff is always made with egg noodles, and you can get the no yolk egg noodles. The recipe calls for 5 ounces. I like a little more pasta in mine, so I had 8 ounces here. And it calls for 8 ounces of cremini mushrooms, and I had baby bella. Any mushrooms you have. If you have the white button mushrooms, it's fine. So one of the modifications will be adding more pasta. Another one is the broth, and I'll let you know about that once we get to that. Oh my goodness, this looks so good. And so the bottom of your Instant Pot will get a little bit, it almost looks burnt, but it's actually developing thick flavor down there with the tomato paste and the onions. Those bits on the bottom give it a lot of flavor. It really develops your beef flavor, and it becomes really rich. And so don't worry if it starts to get a little dark down there. That's good. You want that. Okay, so after this is done frying up, you are going to add the mushrooms and 2 tablespoons of flour. So what the flour is going to do is it's going to thicken, almost like making a roux. So if you've ever made any type of gravy where you have flour and a fat, and then you add your liquid, kind of thickens it, that's what we're going to do here. So I'm going to go ahead and add my 8 ounces of baby bella mushrooms. And like I said, it calls for cremini. I'm using baby bella. You can use anything you have on hand. I'm going to mix that in with my beef and mushrooms. I just love the saute feature on the Instant Pot because it's a one-pot dish. So I don't have to saute something on the stove and bring it to the Instant Pot and bring it to pressure like the old-time pressure cookers. It's just really nice. And then I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of flour to this. And I've talked about my measuring spoons that are double-sided. It's great because I don't have to wash my tablespoon. Use the flour, I use the other side. I'm trying to think where I got them. I want to say I ordered them from a school fundraiser, actually. That's what it was. Reese was having a school fundraiser, and you know, they have those catalogs where they sell wrapping paper and kind of kitchen stuff. That's what I ordered it from. So I have the 2 tablespoons of flour, and I'm going to cook this for 1 minute. And always when you add raw flour to make a gravy, you want to cook it just a little bit, or you will have a really strong flour taste. So that cooks for 1 minute. After that cooks for 1 minute, we add the liquid. Now here's one of my modifications. So she uses chicken bouillon and 7.5 cups of water. I prefer just getting beef broth. First of all, I'm using beef. I prefer beef broth, and this is what I have on hand. So instead of doing the water and the 2 tablespoons of beef bouillon, I'm just gonna add 7.5 cups of beef broth, which would be almost 2 32-ounce containers, because they're 4 cups a container. So I'm gonna add almost all of that. Okay, so that's cooked 1 minute, and now I'm gonna go ahead and add my stock. Okay, I haven't seasoned this yet, but I'm going to. And if you want to add the full 8 cups, it's going to be fine. You know, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add 8 cups. It's not going to make any difference. Since I have extra pasta anyways going in, I have 8 ounces instead of 5. So I added my 2 containers of the beef stock. So let me add some garlic, and really I probably should have added this while I was sauteing, but that's okay. She doesn't call for garlic. I like garlic and everything. So I'm going to add probably 2 cloves of garlic. And it calls for paprika. She uses, let's see, a teaspoon. So I have my teaspoon of paprika. You can use regular, smoked, sweet, spicy. There's several different types of paprika. I just have regular paprika on hand. I'm going to use my house seasoning, which is salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder. Probably about a tablespoon of that in there. And like I've said before, seasoning is very to taste. So if you like your food a little saltier, then you'll add more salt. If some people just don't like pepper, you wouldn't add pepper. But this has it all in there. So then I add a teaspoon of worcestershire, or how do you say it, Jake? Worcestershire? I just like saying it however it comes out. Worcestershire. I love that. So I added a teaspoon of that. You can tell that Izzy's not on camera today because I'm getting nothing. I'm talking to myself. Talking to myself. That's okay. I'm used to talking to myself. So now I'm going to turn it off where it says cancel. I have my beef, my mushrooms, my onion, garlic seasoning. I'm not putting the egg noodles in yet. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put my lid on. I'm going to try to do this very tactfully. That's how you know it's on all the way. It gives you that little chime. And then I'm going to do manual, and it's going to go for 25 minutes. When it beeps after 25 minutes, I'm going to do quick pressure release. So I'm going to turn my valve to venting, and then we will come back and I will show you how to finish it with the pasta and the sour cream. So my meat and broth mixture has cooked for 25 minutes, and I've vented and let all the steam out. You know it's done venting when you don't hear it anymore and you hear the little valve click up. Also, the lid won't let you open if there's still more pressure in there. So I'm gonna open it up. And the reason why you want to cook this for so long, for 25 minutes, is because it really develops the flavor with the flour that you've made the roux, with the mushrooms, onions, tomato paste. So now that this is cooked for 25 minutes, I'm going to add my 8 ounces of egg noodles to the Instant Pot. And what I'm going to do is I have to turn it off to restart it, because I'm going to put the lid back on and I'm going to cook it for an additional for some reason my 8-quart lid does not go on as easy as my 6-quart. And so I always seem to be fighting it, and I'm not sure why. I'm sure I'm doing something wrong and it's user error, but let me try from this way. My cameraman's gonna help me. Okay, he's gonna help. There we go. Thank you, cameraman. All right. I don't know why, but this one gives me a fit sometimes. My 6-quart, I never have any issues with it. But I have my valve back on sealing, and I'm gonna do like I did before, manual, and I'm gonna use my minus button and bring it down to 2 minutes. The pasta's not gonna take long. You don't wanna overcook it or you'll have mushy pasta, so 2 minutes is all it takes. And then after the 2 minutes, we'll vent it, quick pressure release again, and then we'll do the sour cream. So my pasta has cooked for 2 minutes, and I did the quick pressure release, so I have all of the pressure out. I'm gonna open it back up. Oh, that looks so good. I'm really glad I added the extra 3 ounces of pasta into it. I feel like 5 ounces is not enough, especially considering this is 8 servings. So what I'm gonna do now to add the sour cream, you don't want to add the sour cream directly into your hot Instant Pot, because you don't want it to curdle. What she says on the recipe she does is she takes like a cup of broth with the ½ cup of sour cream and puts it in the blender. I'm just gonna temper it in a separate bowl, and she just uses regular sour cream. I have fat-free, so I have a ½ cup of fat-free sour cream. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take about a cup of this broth, put in this bowl, and I'm gonna take my sour cream and put about half in and stir it. This helps bring it, lower the temperature and kind of brings it to the same temperature without curdling the sour cream. So you have really hot stock and kind of room temperature sour cream, and if you just dump it in there, it will curdle. So this is super easy. I just have broth, and I'm stirring my sour cream into the bowl. So this recipe yields 8. She has it at 259 calories per serving. When I entered my recipe into MyFitnessPal, I had it at about 235 calories a serving. So even if I wanted to eat 2 servings of it, I'm still under 500 calories. And that's good for dinner. And this is a lot, so this is definitely 8 servings. Okay, so this is what it looks like after I've tempered it. So I have the sour cream, a little bit of broth, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to stir it into my stroganoff. And beef stroganoff's always creamy, and it's usually always made with sour cream. And so we don't have a lot, just a ½ cup, but kind of gives it that creamy taste and look and texture. So you see the pasta, the beef, the noodles, and this is called beef stroganoff noodle soup. So if you're making regular beef stroganoff, It's gonna be thicker. You're gonna have a creamier consistency, and it's not gonna be so soupy, but this is beef stroganoff noodle soup, so you will eat it in a bowl, because it is soup. So I'm gonna put some in a bowl to show you. And it has like a rich, like red color from the tomato paste. The flavor is really good from all the bits at the beginning of onion and beef and mushrooms. So don't mind my mess. So that is the beef stroganoff noodle soup. Under 250 calories per serving. You guys know I love beef and I don't really like to do without things that I enjoy while still eating low calorie. So this is a good option. I'm gonna try to create a air fryer recipe for you guys. I've been using my air fryer some. It's a learning curve. I don't know it very well yet, but I'm gonna try to come up with a air fryer recipe. The next thing I'm gonna do for you will be chicken pesto calzone, so stay tuned for that.